Welcome to the 11th chapter of the book of Genesis. It begins with the Tower of Confusion. It doesn't say Babel in the Greek. And it begins, Kein pasa igi helos en, and all the earth was one helos, lip. Ke phoni mia pasi, and one voice to all. Phonia, phone is a derivative, so we will underline that right there. Ke geneto ento kinise aftus apo anatolon. And it came to pass in their kinese, moving, kinetics is a derivative, we've had that before, from the Anatolon, east, and that is what they call Anatolian Turkey today. Evron, Pethion, Engi, Sennaar. And they found a plain in the land of Shinar. The land of Shinar is in the Mesopotamian river area. We'll go to there right here. We get a map up, and there it is. It's down here by Sumer, Babylon, the southern part. That's all called the plain of Shinar. And they dwelt there, ke katokisan aki. Verse 3. Ke ipen anthropos, anthropology, to plesion avtu. And a man said to his neighbor, Devte plinthevsomen, plinthus. Come, let us make bricks. Ke opti somen aftas piri, and let us bake them in fire. So they're not stone that was chiseled out, but they were bricks, and they were baked in piri. We have a pyromaniac, has to do with the fire, the pyr. Ke ageneto aftis e plinthos is lithon, and the brick became to them as stone. So they were building with these more or less adobe bricks, as we call them in the United States and the Southwest. And lithon, lithography, carving on stone, lithograph. Ke asphaltos in aftis e pilos, and asphalt was their mortar. So they had some type of tar, same material that Noah used to build the ark, cover it, make it waterproof. Asphaltos, so we should underline that one there. Now 805.2 won't be in the English derivative books because it's only appears in the Old Testament, and the English derivatives are of the New Testament. So you can add this maybe to that book if you get it. In verse 4, Ke ipon, Thevte ikodomisomen iaftis polin, Ke pyrgon u e kephali este eos tu uranu. And they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city, a polin, metropolis, and a pyrgon. Here's pyr, that's fire. So actually a fire tower type thing, of which the top will be unto the uranu, heaven, Uranus. The plan is derivative. Ke, let us make to ourselves, ke piisomen iaftis onoma pro to the asparine, epi prosopu pasis tis gis. Let us make to ourselves a name before the being scattered upon the face of all the earth. So they must have had some type of an inkling that something was going to happen, that they were going to be scattered, because they were mentioning this being scattered, but it hadn't happened yet. So the last chapter it mentions being the division, so this isn't necessarily in the same time frame. In verse 5, Ke katevi Kyrios idin tin polin ke ton pyrgon. And the Lord went down to look at the city and the tower. It mentions in other places that God walks among men, especially in the camp, the children of Israel, and they had to have a shovel with themselves to cover their dung. On okodomisen ii ton anthropon, which the sons of men built. So they're going to see what the sons of men did. 11. Ke ipe Kyrios, and the Lord said, Idhu genos en, ke helos en panton. Behold, there is one genos, a genus, kind, and one lip for all. So maybe all are of the same race. Ke tuto irxanto pise, and this they began to do. Ta nin uk eclipse exafton panta osa an epithonte pien. The things now shall not fail from them, all as much as they might attempt to do. So this was a problem of man doing things that were causing man to put themselves up as God, apparently. We can look at today and see the things that man is trying to do with DNA, processing the DNA and changing it all over. And who knows what man could come up with. So maybe God is going to do something like this again. I don't know. It's just interesting. Verse 7, Thevte ke katavantes synkeomen glossen afton. Come, and going down, let us confound their glossen, their tongue. And it's used as a language because it's a figure of speech. It's not actually their tongue. He's not going to tie the tongue. So you have to look at the figures of speech as we mentioned earlier. They're so important in the Bible. So I use the word language, although there's also the word dialectos, a dialect. Ina mi akusosin ekastos tin phonis tu polision, that they should not each hearken to the phonis, phone, derivative, to his neighbor. Akusosin, akuo, echo, is a derivative of that word, phone here. Underline these. 8k diaspire Kyrios avtus akethan epi ton prosopon passis tis gis. And the Lord scattered them from there upon the face of all the earth, or the land. Ke apav santo ikodomuntas tin polin ke ton pyrgon. And they ceased building the city and the tower. Verse 9, Diatuto eklithi to onoma avtis syncasis. On account of this, the name of it, that is the city, was called syncasis, confusion. It wasn't Babel, but in the Greek it's syncasis, confusion. Oti eki syneke Kyrios ta heli passis tis gis. Because there the Lord confounded the lips of all the earth. Confounded is the verb for the confusion. Ke akethan diaspiren avtus o Kyrios epi prosopon passis tis gis. And from there the Lord scattered them upon all the face of all the earth. So he's confounding the lips. Well, you can question, well, wouldn't it take generations to confound a lip, a language of somebody? And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, well, not necessarily for the people in the United States, in some of the large cities. Eubonics, a language of the street the black people, the common language for some of the young people. Eubonics has been basically developed within the last 40 years maybe. So this is, for people to come up with this language is a possibility that they started changing them right away. I don't know how the Lord could confound the lips of the people, but this is what it says that he did. Somehow we do have languages today, and somehow they were changed.